It's Peezyfx here. Be sure to click on the link in the description to check out the prices for my lifetime membership, which includes educational content and trade signals for Forex, indices, and crypto. See you in the Discord channel. Alright, y'all. Let me delete this because I'm just going to reevaluate the whole thing because it's showing me bearish tendencies. But we still been trading in this weekly fair value gap, right? And we are bouncing around off of these levels from the monthly fair value gap. So here on the weekly, we see that we are kind of supporting this weekly fair value gap. All right, we traded down into it one time. We basically traded back up into like the 75% retracement level from the high of where we bounced from the premium high of the monthly fair value gap, right? So about 79–80% retracement back up into that level. Then we reacted strongly to the downside and took out this low. We didn't close below that low, but we did take it out. We did close below this opening right here. So when you flip to the line chart, you can see that it kind of looks like price traded up, made a high, came back down into the weekly fair value gap, ran out that old high, and notice how it really respected about the 50% level of this monthly fair value gap, right? And I'm talking about the volume of the candles. I'm not talking about the wicks, right? So we ran out this old high, and then it's kind of like a displacement to the downside. And then we had a strong wick push back up and tap 50% of that weekly order block, right? So when I flip back to the candles, that's something that I noticed yesterday, and I had marked it up. So I want to mark this level up again and just entertain a bearish sentiment real quick. And I'm going to drop down to the daily. Now check this out. We're seeing some willingness to trade lower, are we not? And this looks like a clear target for price to react from in the future. And check out this. Check that out. So that is a strong reaction from 50% of that weekly order block. That is what has me, kind of scratching my head like maybe we should go into this week with a bearish bias on the DXY short term. I am going to keep an eye on this level right here. We kind of have per the sell side liquidity right here, a bullish order block, and price closed inside of that bullish order block. But see, I'm not convinced that price is going to respect this at all. You understand what I'm saying? Like, why would price end the week right here inside this bullish order block and then open up today respecting this just to trade higher? I'm not going for that. I can kind of see, let's highlight this level right here, drop down to a 4 hour. All right, so here's 50% of that weekly And check this out. The opening price of this 4-hour order block. Notice how it just bounced off, right? That's interesting. So it's kind of like, this is the only thing that kind of has me like second guessing the bearish sentiment. These are perfect targets, right? These are relative equal highs, but this is a purge of buy side liquidity because it did take out this high, right? It took out that high. And both times price ran up there, we was reacting from this imbalance. So y'all kind of see what I'm seeing, right? I'm not trying to play both sides of the market, but kind of have to look at it from both perspectives. We failed to make a higher high. We traded down. We took out this low. We had a strong push back up, and we failed to make a higher high again. And we respected the opening price of this 4-hour order block. Now, this looks like a good area for price to target because we're going to have sell side liquidity resting here. And we also have sell side liquidity resting below this consolidation. This period of consolidation is accumulation of liquidity. They generated liquidity right here. And you have a buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency below it. And this is the daily perspective of that imbalance. But here on the hourly, the 4-hour is bigger. So this is something that really has my eye right here. So going into the week, I kind of want to target these areas down here on the DSY. And where would be a good, I'm going to go ahead and delete, I don't know. This level right here is significant. This is that weekly order block. Weekly fair value gap, right? So price traded up, created a fair value gap, bounced back down into it, came back down, kind of like inducement pattern, right? But if that was the case, then I would expect to see a retracement back down and see something like that. But I'm not seeing no pattern down here to suggest that price is going to bounce back up from here. I'm not seeing it. You do have the purge of sell side liquidity here, but did price really? So if the bullish perspective holds true, then that means we will open up today and immediately respect this area and trade higher from the jump. And I just don't see that happening. So you drop down to a 1 hour, and let's throw the time up here. Now, inside of this weekly fair value gap is a good area for price to react from to trade back up. Now, when we pay attention to this level right here, we have a balanced price range. We have a balanced price range that kind of coincides with this daily order block right here. And it's also, I want to say it's a breaker, right? I want to say it's a bearish breaker because we do have previous week's high right here, which holds buy side liquidity above, and price jammed up, taking that out, jammed down, shifting in market structure, left a balanced price range, and this series of down close candles, the low and the opening of the daily order block would be considered a bearish breaker on the lower time frames. All right, so now I want to highlight the balanced price range. This fair value gap is significant. This fair value gap is very significant, right? And then you have two levels over here that could act as a balanced price range. So this is kind of like narrowing down where price could potentially react from inside of this huge sell side imbalance. We'll just change the colors of these. Then we also have this one right here. All right, let's clear some of this up. And it also makes sense for price to react from this level because this right here is the low of that monthly fair value gap, right? So we treat fair value gaps like support and resistance theory. That's why we are looking at these specific areas right here. That's how a balanced price range works. You jump over here and look at smart money techniques, scroll up and find the balanced price range here. And look at how they describe it, right? So you have a buy side fair value gap and price breaks through it, creating another fair value gap in the form of sell side. When price delivers back up into it to rebalance, that's where we get a strong reaction. And ICT talks about how price is not permitted to get back above the balanced price range. And right here is another example. You see how price is completely filled it in. Right here, traded down, completely filled it in, and immediately ran for the previous high. Rebalance, redeliver price should push away aggressively. As you can see again, price traded through the old gap, rebalancing and redelivering, creating a balanced price range. Once we redeliver, expect price to move away aggressively from the gap. This is your confirmation for long continuations. This concept is fractal, meaning different time frame, same shit, right? And right here, we're kind of seeing it in the form of a line chart. It's just like a single pass up and a single pass down. Price taking out this low and then pulls back, right? And the best way to approach this is to anticipate price completely filling it in. So here we are. I know I kind of got a lot going on right here, so we're just going to delete these levels over here. This is previous week's high. Y'all see what I'm saying? These are all levels we need to pay attention to. So we kind of got like a swing high right here, or you could just drag it up from the beginning of this push down. But looking at it from the hourly chart, it makes me want to drag this fib down here. The equilibrium falls right here. And that really narrows down this balanced price range significantly. I'm not saying that price is going to react from that tiny level right there. I believe it's a stronger possibility of price pushing up into this one, completely filling it in, and that would kind of coincide with this balanced price range right here. So we have sell side liquidity resting here. We have sell side liquidity resting right here, which is previous week's low. All right, so that's what I'm seeing on the DXY. Let's go to Euro USD, and I don't know if I remember seeing something similar, right? I remember this volume imbalance right here. All right, these two black lines right here is basically the low and the opening price of the bearish order block. And then you have the volume imbalance, which is only shown on FXCM. It's not showing on Forex.com. Like this bearish pattern right here, it looks very good. But from what I'm looking at, the DXY, I'm not really seeing that. I'm not really seeing anything that indicates that the DXY is gonna continue trading up. But we really have to consider where price is currently at, right? We closed right, like I capitalized off of this. I sold from here, right? We should have all sold from here. It was a beautiful setup, and price delivered 200 plus pips from this point of interest. I think it was Tom who made money off of this because he remembered me saying something about it, and price did trade up into there and aggressively move lower. What I was about to say was, we had a nice volume imbalance right here to target, right? And I remember closing partial the majority of my trade when price hit that volume imbalance. So we just traded from one volume balance into another. I really like the bearish sentiment on Euro USD because that's what I've just been used to for so long, right? But I really feel like the narrative is changing. And like I was saying on the DXY, I don't think that price is going to open up today and immediately respect this area and just jam down. Although it's a possibility, and I have seen price open up on Sunday and just immediately trade down. As a matter of fact, I think it just did that, right? So let's drop down to an hourly and throw this on here. Yeah, so look what we did. We opened up on Sunday and we just worked our way down all the way until Thursday, right? FOMC caused us to trade up, taking out that Sunday's high. But if it wasn't for FOMC, then this would not have happened. And I was talking about, I think it was our last live where ICT talks about ignore this manipulation wick right here and look how beautiful price trades up. And this is what Graham had marked up, I believe. This is what Graham had marked up. So basically what he did was, you see how price played off of the original fair value gap, traded up into it, and it offered a sell-off down into that volume imbalance to take out previous day's low. Beautiful setup. I took it. But then see, once that happens, going into the following day, Graham made a nice observation, something that I wasn't really anticipating on happening because of FOMC, right? And price did jam straight through it, basically invalidating the setup. But you got to think, if it was not for FOMC, this would not have happened. And this would have been the trade to go to. So you take the remaining area from the sell side imbalance and basically just create you another fair value gap. I've seen ICT do it before.
Yeah, I was pending on that, Ryan. And basically, like you said, FOMC caused me to cancel the pending order, so I never executed a single trade last week. But yeah, I was looking for price to come up into that fair value gap, and obviously as FOMC was coming up, I cancelled.
Right. So when you are, like I talk about it all the time, it's easy to look at these lower time frames and kind of lose sight of the daily order flow. And see, that's how I was able to, like, I stay trying to remind myself to don't forget about the higher time frame bias, right? Because we want to look at these lower time frames and trade off of them. They move faster, this, that, and the third. But this whole time, I've had this volume imbalance area marked up, right? So when FOMC kicked off, I was able to capitalize off of this area for the second time. The first time was here, right? And the second time was during FOMC when this beautiful pattern showed up. on several different pairs, the exact same pattern. And I took this trade on Euro USD and SPX 500. Price traded. I mean, FOMC kicked off right here at 1400 hours, 2 p.m. New York time. We immediately jammed up into that volume imbalance. And granted, I got tricked here and stopped out on SPX 500. But when that happened, it immediately solidified this setup for me. All right. And it was just amazing trade. And then right here, this is a perfect example of a balanced price range setup, right? You see the balanced price range. Let me delete this one. You see the balanced price range here, right? Now let's slide over and see how price reacted from that. And they're beautiful. You can't get no better than that. This is what that setup would have looked like, depending on where you entered, right here, or at the 50%. Stop loss resting, I would say, above the high of the imbalance, right? And you could have targeted these set of equal lows over here, or that low right there. I mean, that's just a beautiful trade. From the entry to here is 45 pips. That's a bread and butter setup. And it's all stemming from the daily volume imbalance. You see what I'm saying? I was fortunate enough to catch this trade. It's a classic bearish breaker coupled with a fair value gap. And we talk about it all the time, how that's going to be the strongest, most highest probability setup that you could ever trade is your bearish breaker. And we can zoom in and really get a glimpse of like and respect the accuracy. See this last down candle prior to the purge of buy side liquidity? Like, gorgeous. Those are the type of trades right there that you just want to drop a million lots on. You know what I mean? And then we ended out the week with price trading right back up into this level and panning out. Is that a coincidence, man? I don't know, bro. It kind of looks like price is like wanting to bait up retail traders and make like a support zone. You see, look what we have. We have price coming down. Retail traders are gonna look at this as resistance, broke, and turn support. This is enticing them. We trade back up and we create relative equal highs. And I think it's a strong possibility that we could trade down, create our low of the week off of, I don't know, maybe from here to here. We might end up running out that high or creating more liquidity from a relative equal high or something, or this high might hold true. Right, to give us that run up to clear out them equal highs up there. We was able to catch price from here and trade it up into that volume imbalance. I remember catching that on Friday. And if anybody was a part of the live, y'all seen that. And now we just need to kind of wait on price. Can kind of look at it from this perspective as well. So I know I really don't have no clear buy limit orders to give y'all. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I could do is just analyze what I'm seeing. And that's all we could do is trade what we see. And I'm not gonna go in and anticipate to trade right when the market opens. That's not what I'm doing right here. I'm like, the best way to play in this game is to reel it in like you're fishing, right? Throw that line out there. That's what we're doing right now. We're throwing that line out there and we're just slowly reeling it back in. Slowly reeling it back in, waiting on that fish to lock on. So we want price to come to us. And I think this is a logical fish net. We kind of got like a balanced price range deal. Right here. And it's the daily order block. Can't y'all see that happening though? Like, this is a good area for price to react from to trade back down. And like, I remember I used to trade patterns like this, right? I see, Graham, I see you do it, right? And we got that from, you know, EasyFX and Abundance Trade House, where you see an order block form, engulfing candle, and price comes back down into it and then reacts. See, those are the trade patterns. Those are the patterns that used to burn me. They used to burn me all the fucking time. And like, that's not my perspective on this trade setup at all. Get what I'm saying? That is not what I'm seeing. Although I do recognize it because I was taught to in the past, but this is not the base of what I'm seeing right now.
I hear you, man. I hear you. It's just it's hard to when you've been taught that for so long, to make the shift, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely is. I mean,
That's the
it's
transition.
conditioned.
That's the transition.
It's conditioned into me, you know? It's I've been watching a lot of ICT this weekend. I think I've up to episode 18 again on the 2022 mentorship. So I've been burning my way through that. Just trying to, you know, get away from Abundance Trade House and EFX. But
right. And it's not that, look, see, here's the thing. There's no manipulation involved, bro. There's no manipulation involved trying to convert your religion, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not the intentions. I know there's a lot of people's intentions in the Forex industry, and that's something that I try to instill into people who come over here. It's like, this is not what we're doing. I don't want to come off as a Abundance Trade House, an EasyFX hater, you know, but at the end of the day, I dislike the whole concept of what they're doing. And I try to enlighten people and get them over here and show them this way of trading, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. And the transition from trading what you were taught over there into trading ICT concepts is going to be a challenge, and you're going to face failure day in and day out. We all do. We all been there where we face failure. Trading is one of the most fucked up things to go through, because you know, like, you literally face failure all the fucking time, man. And it's hard on us, bro. It's hard to face failure so often.
Keep going.
But the only way to combat that is, you know, there is no plan B, bro. Like ICT said it, there is no plan B. You have to go in at this shit and literally tell yourself there is no plan B. This is it. I already got years invested into it. What the fuck I look like quitting now?
Yeah, no, it's definitely once you're down the rabbit hole, there's no getting out. You know, it's success or keep trying until you find success. Definitely.
It's tough.
Right, I'm
But
going to mute myself
once you
now,
get
Ryan.
into that rhythm of watching price, right? It's like y'all see me do it all the time, and I try to record myself doing it as much as I can without being distracted. But you've seen the recordings on YouTube from the SPS 500 trade, and I also took this one. Like once you are able to identify what price is doing, especially during red folder news events where it's highly manipulated and a huge volatility injection, when you get inside of these markets and you execute a flawless trade, the feeling of it is second to none. It's literally right up there next to being released from prison for after doing 5 years. You know what I'm saying? It's just a feeling of euphoria that is great. And it's like all this hard work, all this studying, it's paying off. When you are able to participate in FOMC and NLP, I do it regularly. And I like you can go to my YouTube channel and proof is in the pudding. Like that's what has me so convinced that ICT knows some shit, man. He knows some shit. When you can get inside of fucking red folder news events and work that shit like a professional, just implementing what you were being taught from ICT, it's just a good feeling. And it just confirms everything and it gives you that push to like fall back from anything else other than this. That's what you need to see in order to fall back from Abundance Trade House and EasyFX and anything else. I've been through it, dude. I was a fucking paid member of both of them. I was even P150 with Abundance Trade House trying to recruit as many people as I can. And then I started realizing like I'm recruiting these people into a financial ruin. That's what I was doing, bro. And that shit didn't sit right with my soul. You know? That shit did not sit right with my soul, man.
Yeah, it plays on you. Definitely. I mean, I see Abundance Trade House for what it definitely is. And EFX now, that Bogdan, the sales pitch guy, he's basically making people feel guilty for no signing up thousands of dollars for their course. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's all order block theory. That's all it is.
Look, man,
You know
I remember leaving EFX for good, right? Like I was still deep in the ICT when I was involved with Danny. And I clung on to EFX so long because of manipulation. Like they seen the beast in me, bro. I'm telling you, they seen it. And they got me on a Zoom call and like hooked me. Like, look, you have potential. Give me a good 4 more months of solid results, and we're gonna put you on a 100K account. No funded shit, real money. And that's what had me hooked. And I didn't want to, I wanted to cling on to that. And like seeing Danny talk about like, when you seeing the results that Ryan are seeing, like him, he shot me out on calls and shit like that.
I can mind all that, I
And
remember
I'm
all
like, it's reeling me in. But at the same time, listening to ICT, and I was conflicted.
that.
And I was like, how am I going to do this? And I eventually just stopped. And I thought about what the fuck was going on. And I dropped them. And I poured myself into ICT. And I clung on to every word that he said. And I started seeing results, bro.
I'm definitely like I say, I'm halfway through the mentorship. That's just been this weekend. episode 19 I'm on. I'm just going to keep on watching it over and over and over again and try and get, because I hear you telling me to do it, and it's like, it's, you know, I don't want to be posting stuff that's related to EFX, you know, in your Discord, but it's just, it's hard for me to make that transition, like you were saying, you know.
Right.
So
And
that's
you know,
what
I don't mind it, bro. Like, yeah,
I know.
it's
It's like,
just it's just that I want you to see what I'm seeing, and I understand that everybody is not gonna have the same bias on a specific pair. But see, if we are learning the same thing, then we should have the same bias, right?
No, I know. See, before I post, I say to myself, I said, he's going to call me out. He's
No.
you know, I do, and then I post it anyway because, like I said, I'll always post what I've traded in your group, eh?
Right.
But I know that I can feel it coming before it actually comes.
No,
You know?
no. See, just know that it's never calling you out. Like
No,
that's not it. It's just like I looked at them and I studied them because anybody in my group who engages and posts setups, I go through them and I analyze them myself because I'm still a student to the game, and I want to see other traders' perspective because maybe I'm missing something. And like what you were posting was legitimate analysis, and it's good that, see, the untrained I would immediately say, oh, he's playing both sides of the market. He's trying to, no, that's what you have to do. But we're not in this shit to please people. You know what I'm saying? We're in this shit to get money. Like
get
that's
paid.
it. So you have to analyze both sides of the market.
Definitely. Yep.
You know,
that's what I've said. I says, you know, that was my primary thoughts, but I'm not married to that bias. You know, and then I switched it. It could go bullish. I see that structure there, that it could be starting to EU could be turning, and then the DXY could be turning. But
it really could go both ways at this point. And that's why I was talking about you got to trade what you see. So, and the best way to do that is to just fall back, take read on Sunday and Monday, going into Tuesday, and by Tuesday or Wednesday, you're good. Like you're gonna fucking know. You're gonna know. And that's how I play it, bro. Like some weeks, I automatically can like stamp it. Like, dude, this is it. We're going in. Like I know what this week is gonna do. Right. But during weeks like this, you're like, okay, I just need to fall back and chill and wait until Tuesday and Wednesday comes, because I understand that the majority of the time that weekly expansion is going to blossom going into Wednesday. But like the week before last, we didn't get that. Like, look, price opened up on Sunday, gapped up, retested this expansion, and took off. You know?
Yep. I've I was going through my journal, and last month I took 7 trades. I never ended the month in profit though, but the 2 trades that I missed went on to hit like 61. So if I'd managed to catch them, it's like I caught all my losers and then I missed all my winners. I would have had a profitable month. Remember that GU trade that you went over in your weekly watch list, and then there was another one.
Yeah,
there was another one as well. I know. Both of them dropped for a 61, and I mean that's all you need. ICT calls that as well, you know, the one shot, one kill, just that one trade, that 141, that 151. But I mean that was the most disciplined month that I've had last month. 6 or 7
like
trades I took.
I couldn't do that, bro. Like 6 trades in 1 month, no, I couldn't do it. I would be going crazy. But if you're a swing trader, like I've been participating in swing trades, you know, and I realize I'm more selective. I participated in this push down and this push down and made major profits on both of these expansions, and then got stopped out in profit once this happened. You know, and I like, it's amazing looking at it from that swing trader perspective, because you're more selective and you take lesser trades and you see bigger payouts. But I'm addicted to, you know,
1 minute, 5 minute. I mean, I mean, the knowledge that you've got, Ryan, I mean, honestly, I genuinely believe you're going to be one of the best to ever do it. I really do. The commitment that you've got to it, the energy you've got for it, the knowledge that you've already soaked up for it. And I mean, and you're only 30. You're only, what is it, 31, 32? You know, I mean, you've got the majority of your adult life ahead of you.
Right.
And I know I definitely think that. Have you ever thought about going for the World Cup? The
Huh?
Forex, what is it, the Forex Series World Cup? Remember the ICT was looking to take on that Vinny E-Mini?
Yeah.
He called him out for that. I was actually looking into that. That's a £100,000 prize, man.
Yeah.
I think you should go for it.
Yeah. Man, like I I don't know, man. I love what we're doing over here, and just getting more people engaged and getting more people to, you
I
know,
messaged a few people that I used to talk to, not Charlie or Andy or that, but a few other guys. There's a guy called Barry and everything, but no, they didn't seem interested. I think they've kind of lost. These were people off Easy FX and like, and you remember Ryan? I'm in his Discord. You know, for $100, that's it, lifetime. But they kind of
right.
just lose faith and all that, eh? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Um,
like I've not a lot of people on my Facebook know that I'm actually doing this. It's only me and my partner and a few close friends. Like I've kind of shut since I started doing this. Believe it or not, 2 years ago, Ryan, I've totally shut myself away from everybody. I've not got time for anybody anymore. It's just this work, family, and then this
yeah,
Forex.
yeah, I'm the
But
same way, man. You
I
know,
know.
I talk about it a lot. I don't really have friends.
It's the
I
best way.
talk to you guys more than I talk to anybody really, and I'm
uh,
content with that. I'm content with that.
there's two of my friends that I still actually make time for, and they actually make time for me. Out of the hundreds of people that I used to grow up with and everything else, people used to call my homeboys and all that. Then I don't speak to any of them. There's two mates that I talk to on a regular basis now, and that's the way I like it. That's the way I'm going to keep it.
I want to go ahead and analyze GJ, but I don't know. I'm seeing two volume imbalances right there. I want to drop down to the daily. I really like how price reacted from there. See, what I want to do is take this candle right here, split it in half, and highlight this level right here. 50% of this mitigation block, and we got this buy side imbalance. We can highlight this level right here. So either we could treat these as targets for a sale, or we could treat these as points of interest for longs, right? GJ has been showing some interest in price action for sure. I want to see price trade up a little bit higher before it starts to try to push down. I don't know if it's going to try to go for this monthly high or if it's going to respect the retracement level and start to trade lower. I really don't know. All we could do is analyze this daily time frame and try to catch some intraday. So if price makes its way back up into this area around Tuesday, Wednesday, I would definitely be interested in going short and targeting these levels down here. All right, so if we can find ourselves up in this area around Tuesday or Wednesday, which seems logical, then I would want to see price sell off into this area. But if we find ourselves on the opposite end of the market, then that's what I would want to see. So if we make this one red for sales, make this one blue for buy. That makes sense. We'll just do this. Just keep it safe. I always want to anticipate price completely filling it in. And you can drop down on lower time frames and try to find points of interest. Like this is that daily fair value gap, right? So you can refine it like that. Nice little area of liquidity right here. That's probably going to be ran out immediately. I feel like that's going to be ran out immediately, y'all. Looking at it from this hourly time frame, it really makes me feel like we could see something like this happen, price bounce up into there, jam down, taking out these equal lows. And right, especially if the DXY wants to continue lower, then I believe that we could see higher prices on foreign currencies. All right, I want to touch on GU, and then I'm gonna wrap this up. I got some business to tend to. I'm gonna go over SPX, right? Probably NAS too, but SPX. But I'm just gonna post them in the group. So I wonder, you know, kind of just like Euro USD. I wonder if we can't see price roll over and come back down in here for an expansion higher, because we do, you know, NFP drove price down and purged this sell side liquidity, previous day's low. But then again, we got this bearish structure. I don't know, man. It's just too early to tell right now. Can't ignore the change in the state of delivery here. This strong push down and then price starts going bullish. You can't ignore that. And the fact that we closed out last week by respecting this, it looks like it's just working its way up. Price is just working its way up, man. So basically, I guess what I'm wanting to see is, notice how we reacted from this retracement level right here, right? And keep this in mind as well. Y'all see how we traded down and we reacted from this retracement level from this billing range right here. Boom. We jammed up and look what it did before running higher. So this area in price could definitely be what we're seeing right here. Although this is a more solid setup because you got relative equal highs up here. And this is showing, I don't know. But it is, what I'm trying to say is there is a possibility that we're looking at identical price swings, and we could get Sunday opening like it did here, trade down, and then continue higher. We just gotta play it by ear, guys. Like I said, this ain't one of them weeks where I could just clearly see something panning out. Price in the odd area. So I'm gonna end it on that note, man. And y'all stay tuned inside the Discord channel. I'm gonna shoot my analysis for the indices sometime tonight. And I'm gonna try to get this video posted up on YouTube for the people who wasn't able to catch it. All right, man. I hope y'all found something good inside of this weekly watch list, and hopefully y'all can take advantage of it. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. You're welcome. Peace out.